Title: Ecuador's Decade of Coup Military versus Democracy, 1960s-70s. Subtitle: How One Country Kept Flipping the Switch on Power. Alright, imagine being stuck on a political roller coaster for nearly 2 decades. That was Ecuador in the 1960s and 1970s, a country where coups, short-lived presidencies, and military takeovers weren't just rare events. They were the norm. Buckle in, because this is a wild ride through Ecuador's most turbulent years. Let's start in 1961. The man at the center, President José María Velasco Ibarra. Now, this guy was basically Ecuador's comeback king, serving 5 non-consecutive terms. But in his third round, Velasco clashed so badly with Congress that the whole government just snapped. He was out, and his vice president, Carlos Julio Arosemena Monroy, slid into the top seat. But Arosemena Monroy's time in office? Even shorter. By 1963, the military accused him of corruption and, get this, moral misconduct. They weren't just firing him for bad politics. They claimed he was a party animal who leaned a bit too far left. So the military swept in and set up a junta. And let's be real, military juntas are not known for their friendly vibes. They cracked down hard, especially on anyone with communist leanings. For the next 3 years, Ecuador was under the tight grip of the armed forces. But the people didn't just sit back. By 1966, protests and mounting political pressure forced the military to chill out, at least a little. The country didn't just flip a switch back to democracy, though. Instead, a constituent assembly was called, and Clemente Yorovi stepped in as an interim president just to keep the seat warm while they figured out what's next. Now, if you thought the drama was over, think again. Fast forward to 1972. Guess who's back? Yep, José María Velasco Ibarra, now on his 5th term. But the military was watching closely. Oil had just been discovered in Ecuador, and the military feared Velasco would either lose control of the money or let political chaos mess up the potential windfall. So, in classic Ecuadorian fashion, another coup. General Guillermo Rodríguez Lara took over, promising to modernize the country with all that sweet oil cash. But even military leaders aren't safe in this story. By 1976, General Rodríguez Lara was ousted in a so-called palace coup. No shots fired, just a reshuffling. This time, a Supreme Council of Government, basically a military committee, took control. They kept a tight lid on things until finally, democracy returned in 1979. Let's zoom out for a second. In less than 20 years, Ecuador saw 5 presidents overthrown, 3 different military juntas, and only brief windows of civilian government. Velasco Ibarra, overthrown twice. Carlos Julio Arosemena Monroy, barely lasted 2 years. General Rodríguez Lara, couped by his own team. By the time democracy came back in 1979, Ecuador had spent almost half the previous 2